What is up, YouTube? It's your boy SupraKing here, and today I'm gonna be showing you guys a video where I guess you can call it a tip video, but this is a video where I can be helping you guys into using what I use whenever I'm going manhunt with my group. And with these routes and choke points that I'm gonna be providing you guys in today's video, you guys can use them, and it makes it nearly impossible to be killing you guys. I'm talking about like 15 players, I'm talking about 20 players, I'm talking about the entire server trying to kill just 4 dudes. And with these routes and choke points and what I'm gonna be showing you guys in today's video, it makes it so impossible to be killing you guys just because you're using these choke points that makes the other team, it basically turns them into it. Well, it makes it so they're at a disadvantage is what I'm trying to get to. And with that being said, it makes it very difficult to be killing just 4 guys just because you're putting them in a situation where they can't do anything to be killing you. The only thing that they can do is run towards you. They can't even shoot at you. The reason why they can't even shoot at you is because you're putting them in a situation where they're all lined up in a choke point. That is what a choke point means. When you're putting them all in front of you and you're basically putting them in a situation where they're running towards your shots, or just, you're putting them in a situation where they're feeling uncomfortable and a disadvantage and etc. There's multiple meanings that you guys might define it, but in all, you're basically putting them in a situation where they're having trouble. And this is what we're doing. We're killing the entire server, making it hard for them to be killing us just because we keep putting them in choke points. And we're using my special routes that I use every single time I'm going manhunt. I'm not saying using these routes and choke points literally makes it impossible, but it makes it very damn difficult. So hopefully you guys use these tips. Hopefully you guys use these choke points and routes, because this right over here might make it a lot more fun to go manhunt. I'm talking about just constant manhunt. I'm not talking about those those baby manhunts where you survive for 5 minutes and that's it. We're talking about those 1 hour long manhunts where it's so much fucking action, you know what I mean? I love those type of manhunts. I don't like having those those 3-minute manhunts, those 5-minute manhunts, and just that's it. I want everybody to come try to kill us. That is the whole point of this video, so you guys can be using this and be having fun in the end, because this is really fun. It might not be fun for the other team just because it's making it so difficult for them, but trust me, it's definitely fun for you guys. So I'm gonna be providing you guys some quick clips on the map, well, in the DZ, but only the DZ in 1, 2, and 3. So let's get right into it, guys. Alright, so this is it right over here. This is in DZ1, obviously. And I'm going to be walking around the area so you guys can know exactly where it is. Alright, it should be on the right side of the DZ. And the whole point of this choke point is to basically put them in this doorway. You want to line them up. You want to put them in this choke point right over here, because if you put them in that doorway, just imagine 10, 15 or 20 players coming through that doorway. It's a clusterfuck. And with that being said, it makes it very easy to be killing the person in the front. And why do I say easy? Because all you have to do is shoot the person in the front, toss grenades, and then just kill them one by one, kind of like a domino effect. Alright, so this is me showing you guys the other side of the doorway. How you guys should be positioning yourselves and etc. It's very effective, and it's a really great way to get people off your ass. Alright, so this is another part of the choke point. Same location, DZ1. So this part right over here is kind of tricky just because you're easily able to get flanked. You can get flanked within 20 seconds. So you gotta be fast with this. Try to kill as much as you can and try to relocate out of the choke point. Okay, I guess you can say there's 2 choke points here, because you can also choke point them right over here. So like I said, move fast, because this situation right over here can bite you right in your ass just because they're able to go around you. Alright, so this is another part of the choke point. Another part of the map that you guys can use for a choke point. And there's the garage. The garage is very effective, but you gotta move fast with this one. Just because, once again, a lot of players don't like going straight towards you in the garage just because they already know that they're gonna be, you know, dying or taking heavy damage. So you gotta be moving very fast. Don't stay there for too long is what I'm trying to tell you guys. You stay in the garage maybe for like a good 30-40 seconds and then move fast. Okay, I'm talking about moving all the way in construction site. The construction site is a really good place to choke a lot of players. I don't know if you guys already seen my footage of me using this, but it's so effective because what it does, it makes them believe you're running away, but you're really not. So you go right over here, you turn around, and you try to chuck as many grenades, and you try to do as much damage as possible in this hallway because they have no other choice. They thought you're running away, but in the end, they're stuck in the middle of that hallway, and they have no other choice to either turn around or go straight towards you. More than likely, they will try to come towards you, and they will die. So do your best to do as much damage as possible. And this is me showing you guys the other side of the hallway that you guys can also use in case you guys are getting flanked. Because remember, there is a safe room behind you, so they are able to spawn behind you. So be careful with this. Alright, so this is now in the garage in DZ2, the extraction. A lot of players don't use this just because, you know, it gets really packed very fast, but this is still a good choke point. Just because this is another doorway you guys can use to line them up. Okay, so this right over here is very effective just because you're able to line them up in one single area. You're able to chuck a lot of grenades, and once again, they have no other choice to either run towards you or turn around. You want to be doing that. You want to make them not really have a choice. That is the whole point of these choke points. And this is me relocating into another part of the map that's really close by. So this is a route that I use quite often. Once after, you know, I start realizing that they're pushing too much, I relocate myself and I put myself in another position where I can use it, and I can try to put myself in a better situation for my team. So this route over here is not the best, but you can use it for quite a while. I'm talking about maybe like 20-30 seconds, just because, remember this, there is a safe room behind you. So you can use this route right over here very quickly. You want to try to line them up. You're trying to pull the players towards you, right? You're trying to pull like maybe 3 or 4 players and trying to clean them up very fast. So be careful with this also, just because you're next to a safe room. So try to kill as many as you can and try to move as fast as possible afterwards. Alright, let's get to the next video. This right over here. This right over here I use once again quite often. But the thing about this is that there's different routes that the enemy team can use to flank you. So what you want to do is use this at a minimal time. So let's say stay around here for a good minute or two and try to think like, okay, are these guys flanking me or not? Because look behind you, there's one doorway right over here and there's another doorway to the left. So you're able to get flanked by 2 different areas. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to be putting that situation in yourself. You want to keep the players in front of you. So what you want to do, if anything, is go down the hallway, position yourself on this doorway right over here, and try to make it so you're able to see whatever's in front of you and to see whatever's behind you. If anything, if people are flanking you, you are able to locate yourself into another location. You're able to locate yourself or reposition yourself on this Hummer right over here. This Hummer right over here is a great way to split the whole server up, because they're either going to come to the left, to the right, or to the middle. So it's a great field of view. You know, it's not the best position just because you're out in the open, but it is a good way to like maybe kill 1, 2, or 3 players. Alright, so you want to use this, but not for too long as well. So you have to be knowing this, right? I mean, you have to know this, guys, is that you can't be using these choke points or these routes for too long. You got to keep moving, keep your team moving, keep loading, repositioning yourself into different choke points, and that is how you're able to manage a really good manhunt. I'm talking about like I said, 1 hour manhunts. So you just keep moving around the map, keep choking them out, and keep making them frustrated, and keep yourself moving. Alright, so This right over here is a great way to have everybody out in the open and to keep yourself in cover with the helmet right beside you. Another thing you guys can do is once you start pushing like really deep on your face, you're able to relocate yourself in the garage. The thing about the garage though is that there's different routes the enemy can take to flank you. So once again, be careful with this. Try to lure them towards, you know, your little trap, and the trap is to put them right over here. You want to put them down there. You want to able to throw a lot of grenades, and you want to put them at a disadvantage. But once, like I said, you are able to be flanked at like different locations. So once you guys start realizing, you know, they're coming around you, try to position yourself somewhere else afterwards. Alright, so this is another position that I use quite often as well. This is hopping over the fence, right? We're hopping over the fence, and what's great about this is that when the enemy team is hopping over the fence, you're able to shoot them while they're hopping over the fence, and you're also able to chuck a lot of grenades. So once you know that you have the whole entire server jumping over, try to throw as many grenades and try to shoot as many as possible, and then relocate yourself somewhere else. Very effective, but once again, you don't want to be there for too long. Alright, this hallway right over here is perfect just because, you know, there's a checkpoint right there. So you're able to have, you know, constant action. But the thing about that is that you're able to be flanked as well. So once, you know, you start realizing, you know, they're trying to go around, get inside this building right over here and try to position yourself on the other side. So the whole entire server can be inside this building. So, you know, they're feeling a little bit, what is what I'm looking for? Fuck, I forgot the word. Just keep on going, whatever. So you want to put them in this position right over here because it can get into a clusterfuck for them. Once you start realizing that they're pushing too much through, because like I said, you don't want anybody behind you, you don't want nobody beside you, you want them all in front of you. So once you start realizing they're actually pushing through, move somewhere else. And this right over here part of the map is a really good way just because everything is lined up for you. And if they do try to go around you, remember this. They are going through NPCs, so they are using things like medkits and heals. So just so you know, if they are behind you, just know that they probably have used a medkit or a heal to get through that whole entire library area. So just keep yourself aware of that. Alright guys, so let's see the next clip. Alright, this is the next clip right over here. A lot of players don't use this just because, you know, they like running a lot through this part of the map. But this doorway right over here is very effective, even on the other side. Just because there's one single doorway. Doorways are literally key to like choking players. Put them in the choke point. Because doing this makes the person in front take so much damage, and you are able to chuck a lot of grenades. Just imagine 4 guys chucking grenades and then doing heavy damage with their, you know, with their assault rifles or SMGs or shotguns. You can literally burst out an entire server like this. So try to use this towards your gameplay and try to use this towards, you know, your manhunt that you guys are trying to achieve. Alright, so I'm going to be showing you guys the underground, the subway route that I normally take. So I normally pull through all the way. I don't like being on that part because it's kind of out in the open. So I keep pulling through just because I want to put them in a narrow path, right? So you put them in the narrow path, doorway once again, and you try to burst them down. It's perfect. Once you guys start realizing that they're pushing through, once again, you want to relocate yourself because they can pull through different angles. So once you guys start realizing that, you know, they're pulling through too close, pull a little bit back and then pull them in another long hallway. So this right over here is a great way. A lot of players don't like pushing through this just because they feel a little bit nervous and because they realize that they can be taking lots of damage. So what you want to do is that, you know, you want to start realizing when too much is too much. Does that make sense? Like when the players aren't pulling through, aren't pushing towards you guys, you want to keep pulling. Okay, you don't want them sitting still for too long because, you know, that gets boring. So what you want to do is that you want to keep pulling back. You want to keep them, you know, on your back. So you keep pulling through and you try to fight them in another way where, you know, it's unexpected. So somewhere like here, because a lot of players don't stop here for too much just because it's kind of close. So you want to be doing something like this. You know, you try to surprise them a little bit, put them in the doorway, throw grenades, and line them up once again. But like I said, that right there is a very close fight, and it's kind of a little bit risky. So, you know, you don't always want to be using that, but if you guys do feel like you're strong enough, definitely use that, because that right there is very effective. This is unexpected. Alright, so this right over here is another great path. I'm not really a big fan of this, just because, you know, everything's out in the open. Both teams are out in the open, you know, the enemy team and my team. So this right over here is kind of an iffy one, but I still use it either way, just because it's a great way to, you know, to provide some extra damage. So you can kill maybe like 1 or 2 players, or, you know, even more, but it's kind of risky. So be careful with this. You know, it's too out in the open, in my opinion. So use this if you guys feel like you're able to, you know, handle a lot of players and etc. All right, let me show you guys the last clip of DZ123, and here we go. All right, so this one over here is a great, you know, choke point in my opinion. This right here is one of my most favorites, just because a lot of players have no other choice of either, like I said, going around or going in front. But the thing about you guys going around is that it lets me know, because it gives me a full visual of you guys trying to go around. You know what I mean? Like if I see somebody walk to the right, I'm able to see that. So I'm able to time, like, okay, that's gonna take like maybe 15 seconds. All right, so let me hold the spot for 15 more seconds and then relocate myself. So that right there is one of my most favorites. All right, guys. So those are the checkpoints and routes that I used in DZ 1, 2, and 3. And if I do get enough like in this video, who knows, maybe I'll do DZ 4, 5, and 6, and then the next video will be like 6, 7, and 9. So, alright guys, thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Really appreciate you guys, you know, taking the time to watch my videos. And hopefully this video right over here helps a lot of players, because I think it is effective to be able to hold an entire manhunt by using choke points and different routes. You know, these type of choke points and routes literally makes it almost impossible to be able to kill a 4-man, just because you're constantly moving, you're constantly, you know, killing players, and you're constantly putting them around the map. What I mean by putting them on the map is that you're basically making them spawn in different checkpoints on different safe rooms, so it makes it very difficult for them to come all at once. So you're basically splitting them up. Alright guys, so hopefully you guys liked the video. Hopefully, you know, it helped you guys a bit. And if you guys do like it, just hit the like button. And if you guys have any other choke points that you guys do use that I didn't provide in the video, put it in the comment down below. I'm gonna give it a try. Alright guys, well, thank you so much for watching, like I said, and I'll see you on the next video, guys. Later.